Yeah, so ever since the lava flow ended, we've been noticing these ponds that have been showing up behind the sand berm, behind this new beach that formed at Pohoiki, and we call these ancholine pools. Ancholine pools are basically brackish water pools that are landlocked, but are connected to the ocean and groundwater through the underground, and they fluctuate with the tide. We've documented about 7 so far, but there's definitely that possibility of a lot more being present along the coastline, especially along the new lava field, which we haven't canvassed yet. But it's a pretty extensive new coastline, but we would definitely want to get out there to look for these new habitats. These ponds may seem very unassuming. They may seem just like little puddles, but amazingly that these pools actually are inhabited by an array of endemic species that are found here in Hawaii. The most common is the opaiula, which are popular among people that have aquariums, and they like to collect them and put them in little jars to have on their desk. But they're very charismatic species, and they've evolved to thrive in these habitats, even in these areas that have recent lava flows. We have several other species, most of them being shrimps that are endemic and native to Hawaii. We've been seeing opaiula popping up in some of these ponds here quite recently, so that's very encouraging to see, especially after the lava flow, to see some new life coming back. It's actually not surprising, because this is actually a natural process, and like I've mentioned, these habitat and these ecosystems have evolved to thrive and survive in these types of conditions, and lava flows are just a natural event that happens here in Hawaii, and these pools and the animals that live in them are, I guess, somewhat used to that, so they found a way to adapt and survive through it. It's still a bit unknown as far as how they recruit into these habitats so fast and so readily. We find them popping up in the most unusual places, even on Oahu, and on Kohola'awi, in impact craters and places that weren't known to have opaiula previously. You have these ponds that pop up, whether naturally or man-made, and these opaiula tend to just show up. So it is still a question that we're still trying to answer, as far as how they recruit so fast into these pools. Yeah, so ancholine pools are actually quite unique, especially here in Hawaii. Ancholine pools have historically been known to be critical sources of fresh water for Hawaiians, especially in arid regions, and they also host an array of endemic species. Some of them are actually endangered, so it's a very valuable, very unique, and very culturally important habitat here in Hawaii. Also, Hawaii is known to have the highest concentration of ancholine habitats in the world. There's a rough estimate of about 1,000 ancholine pools known worldwide, with roughly 600 conservatively known to be here in Hawaii. So we have the highest concentration and also the most isolated ancholine habitats here in Hawaii. So our division is working to better manage these valuable resources that we have here, that are ecologically, biologically, and culturally important here in Hawaii. So we are currently working on a root package to come up with some better management strategies to hopefully prevent further degradation and spread impacts to these valuable habitats. That 600 number, again, it's a conservative estimate, and it's not a static number. It's constantly changing, as we've noticed. We're losing habitats, whether it's from lava flows or just human impacts, but we also have natural ones that form through in the process. So it's a ebb and flow of the inventory of these habitats. It's constantly changing. So it behooves us to constantly monitor these changes. We would like to encourage the public to respect these habitats, enjoy them, observe them, and look at them, but try not to disturb these habitats and minimize the interactions that they have with these habitats, whether it's swimming in them or moving things out of the pools, but just to respect them and enjoy these habitats.